Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Now today we're going to be talking about the Divi Monarch plugin, and that is actually a social share plugin that you can use to add your own social share buttons to your website. And it's got many different ways that you can add them. You can add them as a sidebar, you can also add them as a pop-up, you can add them in line with your current content, and you can also add them at the bottom right of the screen. Now, social sharing buttons and having the ability to have your content to be shared really quickly and easily actually makes such a big dramatic effect in terms of SEO, in terms of backlinking, and in terms of viral reach. So having this particular type of plugin available is extremely handy. Now, if you have a Divi theme membership, then don't worry, it's absolutely free for you guys. But if you are looking externally for some other part, not just for Divi, you can actually use it on any theme. So it's an incredible tool to have in your tool belt, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm actually going to walk you through installing it, as well as embedding it into your website. Now, just a quick disclaimer, if you haven't yet actually got an Elegant Themes membership where you can get Divi, Monarch, Bloom, and also the extra theme, I am actually giving away a free SEO course that I've personally created, and you can't actually buy it anywhere else, and it's just for my supporters of my channel. So if you decide to buy the Elegant Themes membership through any of the links in the description, you'll be able to get that SEO course for free. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to jump behind the screen, and I'm actually going to show you how to use Monarch on a fresh install. Okay, here we are behind the screen. This is one of my demo sites that I use to do a few tutorials with. If you have seen any of my previous videos, which I suggest you do, it is inside here. You will recognize it. So what we essentially need to do is make sure we have Monarch installed. So I'm just going to go to my installation tab. As you can see, I've got Monarch installed, but it is not activated. So I'm going to go ahead and activate it now. And then from there, it's actually a fresh copy of Monarch, so I can walk you through exactly what you need to do. So once that is installed, I'm just going to quickly clear my cache so what WP Rocket can do its thing. And then the first thing I'm going to do is come along to Tools on the left, and you'll see here Monarch Settings. So you want to go ahead and click that. So now this is loaded, you'll see everything is already checked and ready to go. This doesn't actually mean that anything is going to happen on your site just yet, because we actually have to do one more step. Now, I suggest you don't have all of these things activated at once. It's a little bit too much and can be a little bit daunting. But what I'll do is I will show you what it actually looks like first, so you can understand what it is. And to make this actually happen, what we need to do is add in some networks. So on the left here, we've got our tabs. We've got all the different types of placements that we have here. So what we want to do is come to networks, and then we want to choose some. Now, this has actually already got 3 here. It might be because I installed it just before to play around with it, just to make sure everything was up to date. But in case it has nothing here, don't worry. I'm going to show you how to do it now. So when you press Add Networks, it's actually going to show you all of these different networks that you can choose from. Now, depending on where you want to add this to your website, you might want to only limit it. So I think a good number usually is around 4. If you have specific use cases, so like if your audience is mainly on Pinterest, or maybe your audience is maybe on LinkedIn or Twitter, things like that, you can choose based on that. Generally, also add in LinkedIn. Okay, so I'm going to press apply, and then you'll notice these 4 things happen here. I generally don't add in my username here. You can if you want. All it's going to do is tag you every time someone shares it as well. Generally, when I do that, I don't tag people in it anyway, so it's entirely up to you if you want to add it. But if not, you just leave all of these as is, and then press Save Changes. So now we have our networks added. We actually have a live site. Going back at our locations, we should be able to see these quite easily. This one probably won't show up, but I don't really use this one anyway, so don't really worry about it too much. But these 4 are the main ones that you'll use. So what I'm going to do is show you an example post that I've already created, and I'm going to show you what they look like. So straight away, you'll notice we have got the left sidebar panel here, and this has got the 4 channels we have. As you can see, you can toggle it on and off. We also have the inline ones. Now you can see they've all got a counter on here, so each time it gets shared, you will see a number added. Now in a few seconds, we should actually have the pop-up one. There it is on time. A pop-up has appeared. As you can see, 4 looks a little bit weird, so you could always add 6, or you can make them different inline. But that's pretty cool. So that's 3 out of the 4 that I talked about, and the last one is actually the bottom right one, and it is default set to toggle when someone reaches the bottom of the page. And as you see, once you reach the bottom of the page, there are the 4. So it's a really cool plugin, and it's super lightweight to do, right? So I'll just assume that you want 4 icons on here, and we can just customize it a little bit just in case. It's the same for 5 and everything, so I'll show you this process. So first of all, we'll play with the inline one because I personally believe this is the best one of them all, and I use it on all of my websites. Even if I'm not using Divi, I'll still use this plugin. So to do so, what we need to do is come back to Monarch. We need to go to Inline because it's the inline one. And then if we just scroll down a little bit, you'll see all these types of customizations, right? So we've got different types of logo styles. And what that means is if you hover over it, you can see it slightly does different things, right? So that's basically what it means. And you can change it from circle to square to rounded borders, you know. It doesn't really make too much difference there. And over here we have a few different options. Choose location. We can have above and below, or below. Generally speaking, you just leave it at the above. You can always add below too if you wish, but I just leave it as above. And on here we have icon alignment, and to be honest, if you change the icon alignment, it makes the buttons really big, and personally I don't like that. It's a design feature that I don't like, but you can play with it if you want. Now the only one we really need to do is this one here, number of columns. I'm just going to change to 4, and then I'm going to press save. And just to show you how to fix this nice and quick, if I press reload, it's going to put them in line. So it looks really nice. It was really easy to do. So just keep that in mind there. Now, if we keep coming down, I'll just tell you about a few other things. Display total shares. So at the end, if we save that function, so just here, display total shares, it will also let us know how many shares that we have had total. As you can see here, 0 shares, but personally I don't like that one there. You can have it if you have quite a viral account, but I'm just going to leave that as off. But to be honest, this is really all you need to do to get this one nice and easily working. The only difference would be where you want to place it. Generally speaking, you'd only have share buttons on posts. So out of the box, it's pretty much ready to go. The only variable I would change is the number of columns, depending on how many social medias you have, right? So that's pretty much it for that. Now, just before I carry on, I'll quickly reload it to get rid of that shares thing. You'll notice that there is quite a big gap for the spacing. Now, personally, I don't like that. So I'm going to quickly show you with the magic of CSS how we can fix it. So what you want to do is go right click, or you can go at the top, you can go view and then developer, and then you can see inspect elements. Okay, so this is on Chrome, by the way. It might be a little bit different, but the easiest way how to do CSS is you want to come to the left here and you see this little clip button. You just want to hover over the section like so, and you'll see at the top here we've got this line of CSS and it says padding top 30. So what I'm going to do is just backspace that, and you'll see it's jumped up quite a lot, right? So I'm going to grab this CSS here, and in the Divi in the theme customizer, I'm going to come to additional CSS. So this is just appearance customize, and then you'll come to this tab here, then you want to choose additional CSS, and I'll just press paste. Now you'll still notice that there's still a gap at the bottom, right? So what you want to do again is choose the little toggle thing and then come below it and hover until you see that other big gap, right? And this is the next line of code that we have here. So what you can do as well is in mil gap, just so it's not too tight. So this looks pretty good. So once again, copy this entire code, come back to customize, and then I'll go on a new line, paste. And if you can't figure out this whole inspect elements, because this is the code I use for all of my website, I'll reload it again. You shall see that the spacing is saved. So that's good. So that's nice. So if I come back to Monarch, there's not really too much else I play with it. Personally speaking, PopUp for sharing is a little bit too much. And if I did want to have the fly in at the bottom, I probably wouldn't have sidebar. So it's a bit of a way up, either the sidebar or the fly in, which one I want to use the most. Now the media one, I still haven't really figured it out as much, but it's there if you want it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's also a social follow widget that is in here. To be honest, I don't use it, so I can't really give you the most detailed tutorial, but I assume it's the same sort of thing. You just add in all of this, and you also have a shortcode and a widget sort of thing. I imagine it's for your sidebar and that sort of stuff, but to be honest, the best functionality I've seen is from these two. And if you were to get a plugin just to get these two things anyway, it's probably going to cost you about $50. So it's amazing having this sort of tool available for free inside of your Elegant Themes membership. So if you haven't yet got it, it's very, very handy. So that's pretty much it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump behind the screen just quickly again, and I'm just going to add an extra few little things. Okay guys, so that was the Monarch plugin for Divi. It is a social sharing buttons plugin. It is extremely handy, and to be honest, if you start having these sort of buttons available on all of your blog posts, you'll start just giving users an extra sort of way that they can share your content, and you can get more visitors from referrals from these people. It's definitely a very important thing to think about. Something so simple can make such a big difference. So if you haven't yet got it, make sure you check it out. Once again, if you haven't even got an Elegant Themes membership just yet, make sure you get it from down in the video description. I am a partner, so I do make a small commission, but instead I'm going to be giving you a SEO course as a thank you, and it's not available anywhere else. So make sure you check that out. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this Monarch Divi plugin. It is an amazing plugin that goes hand in hand with Divi and in fact every other theme out there. So I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something, and that's it. I hope you guys, if you want to see more epic WordPress videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I've got loads of stuff coming out, and until then, I'll see you on the next video.